My guest on today's episode is Michele Johnston, the powerhouse behind fiercely authentic coaching, raised with strict ideals. She married young and became a devoted mother of four. For years, she masked her struggles to fit society's perfect mold. But when her kids grew, she prioritized self-care. Pushing a truck full of kettlebells was her aha moment, revealing her incredible strength physically and mentally. Michele dove into fitness and embarked on a journey of self-discovery, self-love, adventure, and grace. Now, as a life and empower coach, she empowers fierce women to rediscover their authentic selves, fall in love with their quirks, and live life unapologetically. Here is Michele. Why I said, okay, Michele, I would love to learn who you are, what you do. So now from this story, I would love to hear yours because I want to know who you are, what you do. And so we can make this into we can collaborate here. We can make it even more big.
So I love hearing your story because the pivotal moment in your life was the food, the nutrition, making it work for you, and the lifting. And that too was a very pivotal moment in my life too.
Yeah, and we, I think this is one of the biggest things for a woman to know is like you find ways that intrigues you, and that's your own journey. And I think that's something that I love about everyone's journey. Everyone's journey is figuring out something spiritual or anything it is, but it's within their own way of figuring it out. And that's why for you, that lifting up that kettle or like that, I want to know more. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so my backstory is that I was raised in a really religious household with this ideology of what the perfect wife, woman, mother should be. And no questions asked. My purpose in life was to be a wife and a mother. And so went through my teenage years. I had about 2 years of a rebellious stage between like 17 and 19, where I actually kind of tapped into my authentic self, kind of discovered what Michele was really like beneath all that stuff. But at the same time, I had this nagging in the back of my head saying, this isn't how you should be. This is not what you've been taught, not how you've been told. This is not how women act.
Yeah.
You're freaking crazy. Well, no, we're not doing this. And so around the 20 years old, I was like, hey, I really need to like chill out and I need to start focusing because I'm supposed to be finding that man I'm going to spend eternity with and raise a family. And I did. I found a nice conservative young man, very quiet, very introverted. And I thought, this is going to be the perfect balance to me because I am just kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting married at 23 and had my first of four children at 23 and immediately dove into those roles of wife and mother because that was my sole purpose in life. And and like you, they brought me joy. I was happy. I loved being a mom. I loved being a homemaker. All these things I had like been prepared for my entire life. But somewhere along the way, I lost what lit my soul on fire. I lost the little bits of what made Michele happy. Like you, and I didn't even realize it because I was so focused on being a mom and raising my kids and um, really putting on a facade of perfection to the outside world. That was a huge concern for me. Um, I needed to be doing all the things. I needed to be that Martha Stewart. I needed to be doing the fancy Pinterest crafts and volunteering at school and doing all the things. And I lost myself. And it wasn't until my youngest went into preschool and all of a sudden I had all this time on my hands, like I could only get the house so clean and there was only so much laundry to do before I was like, okay, I was sitting in the stillness and didn't know what to do with myself. Um, I didn't know what made me happy outside of being a mom and a wife. I didn't know. I didn't know what my interests were. I didn't know what excited me. I had no idea what I even wanted to try in life or any goals because my goal was to raise my kids.
Mm.
And that really started me on my rediscovery journey. I started listening to self-love podcasts. At the time, YouTube was like really big for that. So I started searching out people that I resonated with what they were
Mm.
saying and thought, well, maybe they kind of understand where I'm coming from. Because I felt very alone too, because I
Mm.
couldn't speak to anyone. I couldn't
Yeah.
speak to my husband about it. He would never understand. My, mom wouldn't get it. I could my all my friends were like in the church, no one would get it. So I started looking for outward resources. And I came to a point where it's like, okay, well, besides reading and journaling and kind of doing some introspective work, what can I do? Well, my last child was born 6 weeks early due to hypertension. And my blood pressure never went down after his birth. And I did not take good care of myself because I was taking care of everyone else, just
Mhm.
like you were talking about. And ultimately, I became pre diabetic and had chronic hypertension. And so I was like, okay, what can I control? I can control what I put in my mouth. I can control movement. I can drop the kids off at school. I can go for a walk. So little things, baby steps. And I fell in love with, I joined a group of women and we were doing kind of like primal movement exercise.
Mm.
That's where I was introduced to kettlebells and heavy lifting. And
Mm.
oh my gosh, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with taking care of my body. I fell in love with lifting the all the amazing thing that came along with it, like the music. I could process my emotions through whatever music I was listening to. I could release stress from lifting the heavy weights, and the endorphin rush was like a non-negotiable for me.
Mhm.
And that became like my sacred space. My gym time became my time. I became a happier mom, a happier woman all around. And I, like you, I fell in love with myself. The confidence, the feeling of being healthy, of taking care of myself. Oh my gosh, it was so empowering and so liberating to finally like be taking care of me for a
Mhm.
change. And I had no idea. I had no idea. So that was a really pivotal point in my life too. I got super involved with fitness and nutrition, and actually ended up doing a fitness competition, actually three of them.
Amazing.
And and as exciting and empowering as that was, and then being able to inspire other busy moms to take control of their health too. I was just on cloud nine. I was just so happy that I could support and inspire others. But at the same time, it caused a rift in my marriage too.
Mm.
So this is really where I kind of merged from, like a rediscovery into like a midlife awakening, because I was faced with a decision of fighting for my happiness. I now finally found my happy, and now I was forced with the decision to fight for it or to let it go to save my marriage.
I have to ask you, what did you choose?
I chose my happiness.
You chose your path.
I over and over, I kept saying to myself, well, because by that time, I'd done so much work on myself. I knew
Yes.
I deserved to be happy, and I knew my self-worth.
I am
And
so proud.
yeah, and that's what gave me the strength to walk away. Yes, I chose my happiness, and I was constantly through my hardest times. I always said, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be happy. And the universe has my back. The universe has
Yes,
my
it
back.
does. I put tears in my eyes. I want to say thank you for sharing that, because, every woman needs to know that in order to make any change in your life, it's that step that you need to take. And I've noticed that a lot of times it's we go through a journey, like you just said. There's always that little journey where it's like, oh no, what did I do to myself? How did I get here? And that is where this magical journey of change comes along, and then we just sweeps us off and says, this is where you need to go. Start doing something for yourself, or you're not going to get there. And your story really resonates with me, because same thing, right? As a woman, we feel doing the dishes, helping out in the house, morning breakfast, lunch, dinner, doing the laundry, taking care of your kids, making sure that they're okay, making sure the husband's okay, making sure everybody in the household is perfect and the house is perfect before you can sit down and make yourself feel perfect. But that's not the way it needs to be. And I think that is where we all need to learn from other women that have come through that. Say, hey, do you want to wait till you get diagnosed with something? Are you going to have that second chance like us? Or will it be your last chance? Like, how far are you willing to go in order for you to finally make that change? And I love your story, because it's true. We always think we forget about ourselves. We forget about everything that we have to do for ourselves, and we continue to do it for everybody else. But if we don't have that cup that's full, how can we give it to everybody else? Have you heard of that saying?
Yes.
It's that you can't love anyone as much until you love yourself first.
Yeah. But it's like, and it's super easy to make up the excuses too. I mean, I did it. Like at the end of the day, I was hella tired. Like the last thing I wanted to do was like get out and do some yoga stretches, or, go for a quick 15-minute walk out, after cleaning up all the dishes and getting the kids bathed and ready for bed. But you know what? When it became a non-negotiable for me, everything changed. It was truly a non-negotiable. When I was prepping for these competitions, I either went before the kids got up in the morning, or I literally would tuck them in and go to the gym at 9:30 at night. It became a non-negotiable. So when you finally find you're happy, it becomes a non-negotiable.
I want to ask you, tell me how, and anyone that's listening to this, I want them to know another way as well. Tell me how you find your happiness.
Ooh. um how
And
do you
again,
find happy?
is it not different for every single person?
It
It is.
absolutely is.
It's different for everybody. Everyone has their own way of finding happiness. But it's nice to hear it from other people, because that could give somebody that, oh my God, that could be me too, right? So how do you find your happiness?
So my happiness, finding my happiness, was truly a whole self-discovery process. Um, like I said, I was looking for anyone that would give me self-love inspiration, that their message resonated with me. I am huge on affirmations. And so one of the things I started doing, was I created little wallpapers for my phone lock screen with motivational quotes or affirmations. And because I was like, really, how many times a day am I tapping my phone, checking notifications, what time it is? And boom, there's the affirmation, I'm open to receive abundance into my life. And it just takes that moment to just, even if you're at a red light, I would tap every time I was at a red light. I tap my phone, take a deep breath, release any negative energy that I had in me, say my affirmation a couple of times, green light, let's go. So that was one of my ways of continuously bringing in positive vibes and energy into my life. I also did a big clearing out of social media.
Oh, thank you.
A huge
Yes.
clearing out of social media. anyone, anything, any page that was pretty much giving me the icks on the inside, anything that made me not feel good about myself or my surroundings, the environment, whatever's going on, brought me down, it was done. It was gone. It was out of my life. So I really made it. And I still do this to this day. I'm super protective of my energy and I don't want negative vibes in my life. There's no room for that. So I totally cleared out any sort of negative presence in my life to the best of my ability. And then finding what brought me joy, trying to rediscover what my interests were. I found great community resources and I really had to start digging deep. One of the things I started with was photography. I thought I'm always taking pictures of my kids.
Amazing.
I'm
Yeah.
always doing our holiday pictures because no photographer could ever do it the way I had it made.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, I'm going to do an adult ed course on photography. So I did a little course on photography. Always wanted to learn about stocks and trading.
Mm.
Okay, I'll do a little adult ed class on stocks and trading. And, I started trying different exercise things. I even took an aerial class with like silks and everything.
Mm.
I was like, I already had the upper body strength because I'd been doing the heavy lifting. So I was like, you know what? This is something I've always wanted to try. I'll do that. So really kind of dig deep and be brave. And I've always wanted to try this, or I've always kind of had an interest in this, and be brave, do the scary thing, and just jump in. And then from there, you get that positive momentum going to discover, what you feel aligned with, and you take it and you run with it.
That's it's so incredible. I love how our stories are very, very aligned. I like that
I
because
can see it
when
in your face, and you're like, oh, yeah.
yes, yes. First, clearing social, your social. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Let's say from your affirmations. Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful. I love that. I love that you do that because that is amazing. So what I do, a little bit similar to you, is I like to listen to videos or on YouTube video talks about motivation and how to continue to, strive to be the best. I
Yeah.
think that's really important because that brings me joy and then that makes me elevated in my
Yeah.
energy and that continues. And sometimes I get teary because I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen for me, and those are the
Yeah.
little steps that I take. So very
Yeah.
similar to yours. Second, when you said about the social media, what came up to me there was, how do I align myself with people that give me positivity?
Mhm.
Have you ever been on social media and you're like, oh, she looks so good. She looks amazing.
Yeah.
Why is my life not like that? Why am I not like that? Why am I not feeling that way? Or, instead of inspiring you, you feel guilty. You feel
Mhm.
upset with that person. Well, maybe it's time that you take that person out and start looking at the ones that make you happy. Nobody is 100% perfect.
Mhm.
And social media will make you look that way. So
Yeah.
when you start to go on social media and you start to eliminate everything that does not make sense to you, you're basically taking out garbage
Mhm.
and you're building everything that you want in your social media. But not only that, in your life,
Yes.
right? So in your
Yeah.
life, like you have friends in your life, you have people that you love. There are some friends that will not, just like you. I have to be honest, like when you started to love yourself and find this peace and serenity with yourself and who you are, you ended up losing some beautiful
Yeah.
people, right? You started to
Yeah.
lose, like one is your husband or your ex-husband, I would say.
Mhm.
Started to lose things. Why? Because they're not aligned with you anymore. They're
Yeah.
not, there doesn't mean that they're bad people or that there's something wrong with them. It's just now we're just not aligned any longer. We're just two different souls and we have to let go. And this is
Mhm.
where you need to learn to step out your boundary by saying, I need to let go so I can move forward with my
Mhm.
journey. And
Yeah.
that is one of the biggest next step in life.
And it's
I
so freaking hard.
It is so hard. I think it took me a very long time. I had a lot of friends I loved and adored, and didn't want to let go. And I tried and I tried and I tried. And one day it was just like, they continue to give you bad vibes. They continue to tell you that you're wrong and that you have problems and that you are the issue. And you know directly that it's not you, it's just the changed you. And you're a different person now. You're not the same person anymore. But they can't see that. And so you have to let go. You have to be like, okay, this is not me anymore. We're not aligned any longer. Have a good day. Have a good life. And it doesn't mean that we're gone. It just means that you just need to walk your journey as I walk mine.
Yeah.
And I love that about you. And it's so beautiful to hear that. I every little part of it. Then what came across to me with you was I thought about having a canvas. So just like you had a canvas of having your mom, a mom moment, having, being the mom and being the child, being taking care of everybody and making sure the house was good. And it was this beautiful canvas of your family, taking care of everybody, but you forgot to take care of that canvas, which is yourself. So you put color on yourself. You did all these beautiful things to everybody, but you forgot to actually take care of that canvas, which is yourself. You forgot to keep it in the right place. You forgot to keep it away from things that will spill or whatever. Now you've taken that canvas back. You've cleaned up that entire canvas and you started all over. So now you started to take care of that canvas. And now you started to build all your blocks of everything that you love and doing to love yourself. And you've kept that canvas so beautiful.
I love that.
I love that. I need to ask you, Michele, what do you do? What do you do for others, for other women in the community? How do you help them? Because this is a very empowering thing that anyone it would love to listen to, because we all love to inspire and we all love to be that. And so I was like, what does Michele do?
Well, first of all, I think you having this platform for women to speak, and I really strongly feel that women's voices and speaking out has been so taboo, and finally we're finding our voices again and sharing and almost like having BFF relationships with like all these women and empowering other women to find their way, because we don't want women to feel alone or, feel lost or stuck like we were. So I'm a life and empowerment coach, and oh my gosh.
I love when you said that because it made me just got goosebumps. Yeah, I love it.
I help women who are starting that journey of finding what their purpose is, finding that fulfillment in their life. I help women through their midlife awakening to embrace their imperfections, to realize that they are perfectly imperfect and exactly how they're meant to be in that very moment in time. And to live unapologetically. Oh, I said it, authentic.
Unapologetically authentic. Yes.
Full and fulfilled in their life. Every moment changes. There's so much. I always say one of the greatest privileges in life is the opportunity to continuously evolve. What lights my soul on fire, that makes me so freaking excited about living every day, is looking for the positivity, looking for the learning, because the struggles, all the learning comes in the struggles, and just changing that mindset piece to looking forward to what those experiences are going to bring you and how you can continuously evolve into your true and best self. So that's how I support women, and I'm so freaking passionate about it.
Yes, I am so proud. That's so amazing. I love how women inspire women. When I was actually in that state of life where I had the postpartum depression and I was depressed and I didn't really know what was wrong with me, I didn't have any support at that time. I didn't know where to find the support. I didn't know where to go or what to do at the time. And I think it was a very difficult stage in my life. But what ended up happening was one day I remember I surrendered. And I sat down and I looked up and I said, I'm so done. I'm like, I don't know why I'm here. What am I supposed to do here? I know by listening to one of the podcasts, it said, your purpose is exactly where you are right now. So why am I fighting, trying to get somewhere where I'm just so confused on what to do? So either you take me there or I'm done. Like, so I just stopped everything, stopped fighting for whatever I need to fight for. And I started to pay attention more mindfully to my kids, to my life, my husband, my family, my home. And somehow God led to this podcast. And somehow got led to this. And with this podcast, I started to bring in more women and more inspiration and learning with what other people were doing. And that inspiration changed me to becoming bigger and bigger and better. And I started to find more coaches out of line. I'm like, wow, there's so much now. There's so many people that just want to help, so many women that just want to help. Why are we not doing this together?
Yeah.
Right? Like bringing them all together, bringing them into a beautiful a space just to kind of be together. And this is where I meet them. And I'm so happy that we got to meet each other. And you're right. It's just like having best friends talking to each other, right? That's amazing.
I love what you said, where you have to get to a place of truly like surrendering. You have to, it's like your rock bottom kind of moment. And I had it too. I can't do this anymore. So I'm just going to hand it all over to you because I can't. I'm at my wit's end. And that's when the magic begins.
Yeah. Because you're allowing them to come help you. And I think that's where it was. It's like, okay, I'm done trying to stress on something I can't control. How can I let go and just surrender and just say, okay, you got to do what you got to do. And I'm done. Like, here it is. Here's my stuff. Just figure it out for me. I'm done with it. Like, I'll do whatever I can on my end. You do the rest.
Yeah.
It's finished. Yeah, I love that. And I really, really adore that. And I'm so happy that you were able to come here and be able to give everyone details of what you do, what you went through. And, every single one of us are going through something. If any of us can help each other, we're here to help. And I hope that everyone knows that. And so many of us have our own passions and our own ways of doing things, but we love to help others fulfill their dreams. And if we can do that for any of them, why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
There was one thing I did just recently, and I think you are in that category today. There was a meditation I had done recently, and I'm sharing this to the world only because I've said this again and again and again, but I was somehow pushed out of the universe in this meditation where I was up, up, up and beyond this beautiful space that we have. And while I was continuing to go up, I would see all the planets, and the earth was just getting smaller and smaller and smaller as I continued to go up and up into this universe. Slowly, while coming back down into the universe, like coming back down to earth, I was able to see the planets shine. Every planet was shining. They had like little shine to them. And there was like a really beautiful pink color, and there was like a blue color, and like it just continued to go down. And then I see earth, and earth was shining its lights. And it was like every shine was in its little corner. It was a corner of like a beautiful big star. And while I was coming down, you can see each, like, everyone's light was turned on. So those lights were also shining. It was like a shine. And I'm like, oh my God, so earth is this small. It's pretty small, and then we are on this earth. We're a speck. We're honestly like this little speck on earth. And, we are just living our life every single day. I'm like, the sun shines, the star shines, the moon shines, all the planets are shining. Oh my God, we're here to shine.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that so much.
Right?
Ooh,
If
chills.
everything is shining,
Yeah.
everything is shining. Like I just sat there, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, like everything in this world is shining. Everything is shining. Our lights in our house need shine so we can see. We're outside, it's dark. We have a light out there so we can see, but we're not able to see inside. And that is where we need to shine. Oh my God. That's all we're here for, is to shine.
It's to shine. I love it so much.
And you're doing it perfectly.
Oh, thank
So
you.
thank you.
Likewise. Thank you so much for holding this space for all of these women.
Oh,
Truly.
you're so welcome, Michele. Let me know how others can reach you. How can they reach you? How can they call and talk to you? If they wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
Yeah, the best way to get a hold of me is through my Instagram. So my handle is Fiercely Authentic Coaching.
I
So
love
that's the way
that.
it would slide into my DMs. I'm always down to chat and support where I can. And like I said, I do coaching, so we do one-on-one coaching programs, and I'm just here to help and support, and you know, just guide women along their way.
Yes, I can't wait. I will have your handle on our description below so that anyone can just go and click on it and get right to your page so that they can actually follow you. Those are the kind of inspiration that we need for everyone to inspire. Yeah, remove the things that you don't need from Instagram and grab some of these kind of things, because then you can get inspired and be able to know that there are so many women out there that are just there to help and be there for you. No judgment. Nothing like that at all. It's just we're all together in a community of just women inspiring each other and loving each other and just trying to be there for whoever needs it. So
Yeah,
thank you
absolutely.
so much. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay. So anyone that's listening to this, I would love Michele to know that she's a wonderful, wonderful mama, and she's a beautiful coach, and she is going to inspire so many women out there just to be who she is. And if you are listening, please do check out her Instagram account below. Catch her, check her out, get onto her Instagram and follow her. And everyone else, have a wonderful week. We'll see you some other week. Have a great day.
Bye.